The epic battle at Stirling Bridge in the year 1297 is often remembered as one of the most iconic moments of medieval history, but in the realm of imagination, strategy, and cinematic simulation, it becomes far more than just a historical fact. Within the world of total war, history is reimagined, and conflicts that never truly took place can be brought to life in stunning detail. One such reimagining asks the question, what if Malaysia and China, two nations of distinct cultural and historical legacy, had faced each other on that fateful battlefield of Stirling Bridge? This scenario is not a retelling of what actually happened but rather a grand reimagining, an alternate history brought to life through the lens of gaming and cinematic strategy, allowing us to witness what such a clash could look like if time and space were folded together. In this imagined vision, the Malaysian army emerges as a force of proud warriors, representing the spirit of the Malay archipelago. They are clad in traditional armor fashioned from leather and light metal, carrying shields painted with intricate designs inspired by their cultural heritage. Their primary weapons include spears, crisp blades, and long pikes, each one a symbol of their craftsmanship and heritage. Behind them, banners in vibrant colors wave in the wind, echoing the strength of their nation and the unity of their people. Each step they take into battle seems to echo the legends of great warriors of old, such as Hang Tuah, whose tales of bravery, loyalty, and unbreakable spirit embody the heart of the Malaysian army in this imagined clash. On the other side stands China, represented as the vast empire with centuries of military tradition and formidable might. Their troops march in disciplined formations, carrying long spears, crossbows, and curved blades. They are protected by solid armor crafted from layers of iron and steel, reflecting the might of dynasties that once ruled enormous swaths of land. The Chinese banners, decorated with the emblem of the dragon, ripple with the wind, carrying with them the symbolism of power, authority, and dominance. Their cavalry units are among the most formidable sights on the battlefield, horses adorned with protective gear, riders with lances ready to pierce through enemy lines, each charge a thunderous reminder of the empire's military supremacy. In the total war imagination, the Chinese army brings not only numbers but also strategic depth, discipline, and overwhelming strength. The battlefield of Stirling Bridge itself sets the stage for this confrontation. The narrow wooden bridge spanning across the river serves as the focal point of the clash. Whoever holds this bridge holds the fate of the entire battle. Beneath, the river rushes violently, ready to swallow anyone unfortunate enough to fall into its depths. Morning fog blankets the field, shrouding the armies in mystery as the drums of war echo in the distance. The bridge becomes more than a mere crossing, it becomes the lifeline of strategy and survival. For the Malaysian army, it is a chance to neutralize the Chinese numbers by bottlenecking them in the narrow passage. For the Chinese, it is an obstacle that must be overcome with sheer force, coordination, and persistence. The Malaysians make the first move, advancing their infantry to guard the bridge. Shields interlock as rows of spearmen stand firm, forming a defensive wall that bristles with deadly pikes. Behind them, archers raise their bows, ready to release a storm of arrows into the advancing enemy. Their voices cry out in unison, chants of courage and loyalty filling the air. As the first wave of Chinese troops attempts to cross the bridge, they are met with a relentless rain of arrows. Spears thrust forward, piercing through armor, while shields absorb the retaliatory blows. The bridge shakes with the weight of warriors clashing, wood creaking as swords and spears collide. Yet the Chinese are not so easily repelled. Their formations are disciplined, their lines unwavering even under the storm of arrows. Crossbowmen return fire, launching volleys that pierce through the air, finding their mark among the Malaysian ranks. Slowly but surely, they begin to push across the bridge, their superior numbers pressing forward. The Chinese cavalry waits on the far side, their hoofs pounding in anticipation, prepared to unleash devastation the moment the infantry secures the crossing. When a group of Chinese soldiers finally break through the initial defenses, the cavalry charges, a tidal wave of horsemen crashing into the Malaysian flanks. The impact is thunderous, scattering the front lines and forcing the Malaysians to adapt. But the Malaysians are not without strategy of their own. Anticipating the cavalry's strength, they employ hit-and-run tactics, circling to strike from the sides and retreating into the cover of terrain. Quick-footed warriors armed with crisp knives dart in and out of combat, striking at weak points and retreating before being overwhelmed. Their knowledge of positioning and use of traps along the riverbank begins to slow the Chinese advance. Where sheer force threatens to dominate, cunning and resourcefulness provide balance. It is a contest not just of strength but of wit, determination, and willpower. As the battle intensifies, the air fills with the sounds of clashing steel, the cries of men locked in mortal struggle, and the deafening roar of war drums. The sun climbs higher into the sky, casting long shadows over the field, illuminating the chaos and the carnage. The river below runs red with the blood of the fallen, bodies tumbling into its relentless current. Still, both armies fight on, neither side willing to yield. The Malaysians, though fewer in number, fight with unmatched spirit, each soldier holding the line as if the fate of their nation rests upon their shoulders. The Chinese, with their empire's might behind them, press forward with determination, their discipline allowing them to endure even the fiercest resistance. Hours stretch on, and the battle shows no signs of ending. Fire arrows are launched, setting parts of the wooden bridge aflame, adding smoke and fire to the already chaotic scene. The cries of the wounded mix with the clash of blades, creating a symphony of war that resonates across the field. Each side pushes forward, only to be forced back again. Victory seems uncertain, slipping between the fingers of both armies as the struggle continues. In the world of total war, such battles are not merely about who has more soldiers or stronger weapons. They are about strategy, timing, and the courage of individuals who stand against impossible odds. The Malaysian warriors demonstrate that even with fewer numbers, clever use of terrain and relentless spirit can hold back a seemingly unstoppable force. The Chinese army demonstrates that discipline, coordination, and overwhelming numbers can bend the tide of war. It becomes clear that this imagined confrontation is not truly about who wins or loses but about showcasing the eternal qualities of warfare, bravery, sacrifice, cunning, and honor. As the day draws to a close, the battlefield is littered with the fallen, smoke rising from the burning timbers of the bridge. The cries of battle fade into silence, replaced by the moans of the injured and the whispers of the survivors. In this imagined retelling, no true victor emerges. Instead, both Malaysia and China stand as equals on the stage of history reimagined, their strengths and sacrifices immortalized in the memory of the battle. It is a clash that highlights not only their differences but also their shared humanity, the universal qualities of courage and resilience that define warriors across time and space. When we step back and view this battle through the lens of the total war simulation, we are reminded that such creations are not about rewriting history but about celebrating it through imagination. Stirling Bridge 1297 was never a battleground for Malaysia or China, but by placing them within this context, we create a new narrative that allows us to explore strategy, honor, and the meaning of conflict in a way that feels both epic and timeless. It is not about the victory of one side over another but about the story itself, the cinematic unfolding of warriors clashing in a world brought to life by creativity and technology. Ultimately, this imagined battle stands as a testament to the power of storytelling, strategy, and imagination. Total War gives us the ability to step into these alternate histories, to feel the weight of decisions, and to witness the drama of war unfold in ways that are both visually breathtaking and emotionally stirring. Malaysia versus China at Stirling Bridge is not a historical fact, but it is a work of art, a vision of what could have been, and a reminder of how the past and imagination can combine to create something truly epic.